right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. We are talking today about best practices for converting for sale by owners. So, a couple of things to think about. Why would you want to call for sale by owners? So think about that from a lead gen strategy. We often talk about we need to have multiple pillars of business to be generating enough leads and enough contacts into our world to be able to convert a certain percentage into closed sales. So why would we want to go after for sale by owners as one of our pillars? Well, the simple answer is because they're motivated sellers. We already know they have a want, need, desire to sell their home. So why wouldn't we? Think about it. They're basically raising their hand saying, I want to sell my house. It's on the market, or not on the market traditionally, but it's on the market as a for sale by owner. So we know that they need to sell their house, or at least they want to. So it's a great pillar. It's an easy way. I shouldn't say an easy way. It's an effective way to start generating more business and closing more sales. So a couple of things. How do we get in front of for sale by owners? Where do we get it? Well, Zillow. We know people list their homes on Zillow for sale by owner. You can simply go, if you don't want to spend any money, you can simply go to Zillow and start looking at all of the for sale by owners on Zillow and call the homeowners. Different sources as well, like Vulcan 7, RedX, like Land Voice probably still exists. There's many, go type in for sale by owner data. There are so many ways to start getting data for sale by owners to get them contact information as far as names, phone numbers, emails, all of that, to be able to begin calling these sellers. So finding the data is easy. The challenging thing is how do we get good at sounding very professional, at sounding very convincing, at sounding like we know what we're doing to convince these people to have us come out and look at their house and show them what we can do to get it sold. Now, back in the day, a long time ago when I was a brand new realtor, I was taught to do this approach, which I do not agree with. I didn't agree with it back then either. And this is the way I was taught though. So I did it a handful of times until I finally realized this is not the best approach to do it. I'm going to explain it to you. I was told, call the seller, the for sale by owner, and basically lie to them and say I had a buyer for their home. And say, I might have a buyer. I have a buyer for your home. And they would say, well, bring your buyer out. And I'd say, well, I don't know if it's a good fit. I need to see your house in order to see if it's a good fit for my buyer. So why didn't I like that strategy? One, because you're lying. I don't like to lie. I don't want to start any relationship off in a lie, especially. I don't want to waste their time by not really having a buyer and just going over there and then flipping my whole sales pitch and trying to convince them to sell their house with me. I didn't see that as a good approach. Another time, and again, I did this like twice, and I was like, God, I'm never going to do this again. This is terrible. So it was really bad advice, in my opinion. Maybe it works for some people, but I just think it's unethical. I think it's wasting people's time. I don't see it as a good thing. One house, though, I got there, and I'm walking through the house, and we get to the basement finally, and then she had said, well, if we do list our house, we're going to list it with my sister. So now I really wasted their time. I wasted my time, too, because there's no point in me being there. I didn't have a buyer for it. So why tell them you have a buyer for it if you don't? Why not be upfront and honest with them, add value, build rapport, and when the time comes for them to potentially need you, they're going to call you and list their house. That's what I started to develop, was a process for getting into rapport with people and helping them sell their house when the time came. Here's the other thing to think about. For sale by owners right now, could they sell their house on their own? Absolutely. Across most markets in the United States, we're in a very low inventory market. So a for sale by owner can put their house on the market and they can sell it. Now, what value can we bring for those people? We know they can sell it themselves right now. What value can we bring? Well, we can get them more marketing exposure than they can get on their own by just putting it on one website. If you're a realtor, you can put it in the MLS. You can kick it out to over 350 different websites. We know that, so we're going to get a wider range of marketing exposure. We know 97% of home buyers start their search online. So if we can get it out to multiple channels on the internet instead of just one, well, there's going to be more eyes on the property, which could generate more showings, which could drive the price up of the property. We also know that 33% of home sales are sold with the assistance of a realtor. So a for sale by owner is missing out on a third of all transactions right there by not listing with a realtor. So that's another way to get your property in front of 10, 13, 14,000, however many realtors are in your MLS, to get them in, get that property in front of those realtors, then again, get more buyers in the property and drive the price up. So thinking from that aspect, here's another one. So one, we can get more traffic. Two, we can get them potentially a higher price for their home. Three, what we can do is we can negotiate on their behalf. Because what happens to a lot of for sale by owners is they don't do this every single day. Not only are for sale by owners paying us to market their home, they're paying a realtor to negotiate the best possible price for them. So when things happen, like an offer comes in, can we negotiate a better price for them? Can we drive more traffic to get them a multiple offer? When inspection time comes, can we negotiate on their behalf so they don't get eaten alive on inspections? That happens a lot as well. People come in, they give them maybe their asking price, and then they nickel and dime on inspections, or they ask for big ticket items that maybe they don't need to fix. So our value as a real estate agent, your value is to negotiate and drive more traffic to get them the best possible price. So the question now becomes, how do we get in front of these for sale by owners? I mentioned before, you can find the data. That's pretty easy to find, whether you go to Zillow or you pay for different services to get it. But then you need to call them and start using just a simple script. Here's the script I use. Now, keep in mind, when I was in production, I used to hammer for sale by owners, expired listings, all of that, and it worked really well because I got really good at having these conversations and talking to a lot of people. Here's a script I used to use, and this is the script a lot of our team members use. Hi, hello, is this the owner at 123 Main Street? Hi, my name is Michael. I'm a realtor in the area, and I wanted to give you a quick call about your property that you have up for sale by owner. Is that still available, or did it sell already? And they're going to say, no, it's still available. All right, if they say it's sold already, there's not a whole lot you can do. Most of the time, though, they're going to say it's still available. Okay, let me ask you, since it hasn't sold yet, do you have a time in the future that you would consider listing your property with a realtor? What are they going to say there? They're going to say a couple of things. They're either going to say, yeah, we'll think about it. They're going to say, no, I don't want to pay a commission, different things like that. So they're going to come up with some sort of a rebuttal. Well, because why are they selling it themselves to begin with? They're selling it themselves because they want to save on commission. They believe they can net more money by not listing the property with you. So we need to overcome that objection. So something I would say is, I completely understand where you're coming from, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, whatever their name is, John. Were you aware that 95% of the homes sold in Missouri were sold with the assistance of a realtor? No, I wasn't. The reason I say that is because you could potentially be missing out on hundreds of buyers that are in the market actively for a home like yours, but are simply unaware of your property because it hasn't been aggressively marketed with a realtor such as myself. You see, we specialize in working with for sale by owners like yourself and assisting them in aggressively marketing your home to get you top dollar with a minimum amount of days on market. So there we go. I'm telling them right now I can market their house. Now, something we offer that you can offer too is you could offer them this. So I say this, in fact, we have a program where we can continue to market your home and you don't owe us anything if you find the commission. So we can allow them to continue to market their property themselves. And even after we list the price, you can write this in your listing agreement that they can sell their house themselves and they don't owe you anything. Now, what's the reality? The reality is once you list the house, they kind of stop doing a whole lot to market the home because they trust you. They're excited about working with you. So you're not taking on a whole lot of risk. And if they do find the buyer themselves after you list the property and you don't get any commission, well, so be it. Go get 10 more listings. Right? So does it happen occasionally? Sure. Does it happen often? No. So that's something as well. So in fact, we have a program where you can continue to market the property yourself and you don't owe us a commission if you find the buyer for it. That's a no-brainer for a lot of people. You're going to help me put some horsepower into marketing to get more buyers in here, and I can keep marketing it myself. And if I find a buyer, I don't owe you anything. Sounds like a pretty good deal, doesn't it, to the seller? Absolutely. So just out of curiosity, John, if there was a way we could show you how we're teaming up with our company and selling your home with us will actually get you more money and get you more qualified traffic to your property, thus getting your property sold without all the headaches that come with selling it on your own, is that something you would be interested in? Simple scripts, and I'll share the script out to anybody that wants it. Just send me an email, michael@nettworkglobal.com, NETT work global, NETTWORK global.com. Simple script. I'll run through it one more time. Hi, is this the owner at 123 Main Street? My name is Michael. I'm a realtor. If you're a realtor, if you work on a real estate team, I work in a real estate team, whatever your title is, work in the area, and I wanted to give you a quick call about your property that you have up for sale by owner. Is it still available or did it sell already? Great. Let me ask you, since it didn't sell yet, do you have a time in the future you would consider listing your property with a realtor? No, we're not going to list with a realtor. We want to save on commission, whatever it is. I completely understand where you're coming from. And did you know that 95% of all homes sold in Missouri sell with the assistance of a realtor? The reason I say this is because you could potentially be missing out on hundreds of buyers who are in the market for a home like yours, but are simply unaware because it hasn't been aggressively marketed with a real estate team such as ours. Our team specializes in working with for sale by owners, just like yourself, and assisting them in aggressively marketing your home to get you top dollar in minimum amount of days on the market. In fact, we have a program where you can continue to market your home. And if you find a buyer on your own, you don't owe us a commission. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Out of curiosity, if there were a way we could show you how teaming up with our company and selling your home with us will actually net you more money and get you more qualified traffic to your property, thus getting your home sold without all the headaches that come with selling it on your own, is that something you'd be interested in? So how can we sell it? Then how can we sell it and get them more money? Well, for one, if we're getting more traffic to the property, which as a real estate agent you should be able to do, you tend to drive the price up. If you look at any kind of graph on selling the home, we know that the maximum, like once you first list your house on the property, that's when you get the maximum exposure for the property. That's the peak. The first 7 days are critical. That's when you're going to get the most exposure, the most eyes on it, and the best chance of getting somebody to pay over asking price for the home. Because there's a lot of demand at this point in time, especially with limited inventory. So if we can get a ton of people in there that first weekend, we know that typically we can get them more money for their house. So if I can net them 2, 3, 4, 5, 7% more for their sale, well, now the commission is really irrelevant. So if I can get somebody 8 and the commission 6, get them 8% more for their home and the commission 6, well, they're ahead 2%, right? And we take all of the burden off of them from having to sell the house themselves. So just something to think about there is a simple script where you're coming from value because you're showing them that you can help them get their home sold. You're offering a program where they can continue to market themselves and they don't owe you a commission if they sell it themselves. So there's some value there, and you're not lying to them. You're not saying, hey, I've got a buyer, can I come out? Now, keep in mind too, with these calls, let's just say I don't convert them on the first call. Somebody that just lists their house for sale by owner today, if they just listed it today, the likelihood of you converting is small because they just listed the house. They're getting tons of calls from realtors saying they have buyers for them. They're going to bring buyers by. They want to come by and see it because they might have a buyer. They feel they're holding the house open this weekend. That seller feels really excited and confident that they can get their home sold, which is fine. Now, after a week, their confidence starts to wane a little bit if the house hasn't sold. After 2 weeks, it gets a little bit less. After 3 weeks, it gets a little bit less. In my experience, week 4 is typically the week where they start to be like, yeah, maybe we should find somebody else to do this. Maybe we should look at talking to a realtor. If their house hasn't sold in 4 weeks, they've probably held 4 open houses. They've probably talked to a ton of people that have said they've had realtors and that have come over or a ton of people that have said they'd have buyers that have come over and all they've done is try to pitch them on listing the house with them, right? So go look at, so another tip is go look at for sale by owners that have been on the market for a little bit. Don't call the ones maybe that are day one. So if you look at people that have been on for a couple of weeks, their motivation is starting to wane a little bit because their house hasn't sold. Mondays are a great time to call for sale by owners because they just held the house open over the weekend. Maybe tons of people came through and didn't make an offer. Maybe nobody came through, so there are no offers. Their motivation starts to lessen. And again, in this market, a lot of people can sell it themselves. Your job is how can I be an effective solution to help them offset the burdens and the headaches, potentially get them more money for their house through my aggressive marketing. Be thinking of win terms of that. So a couple of key points to think about there. Focus on people that have been on the market a little bit longer. And for the people that you do call that just go on the day, it's all about staying in touch. I want to follow up every single week to see how they're doing. Hey, just wanted to check in, see how the activity was over the weekend on your house. Did you end up doing that open house? It's just a quick little check-in every week because most people will call these once. They're not going to follow up with them week after week after week. And the person that follows up the longest is going to be the person that's going to get to come out if they don't sell the house themselves. So keep that in mind. A follow-up system is extremely important. Every week on Monday, I'd be doing my follow-up calls with these sellers to see if their house sold. If not, if it's still available, to see if I can get my foot in the door to come out and show them what I can do to get them the most money for their home. Now, something else I want to throw out there for a way to get in the door immediately, something to think about is this. You can call them and say, would you consider a full price cash offer for your home? Most of the time they're going to say yes, right? So you can say, great. What I need to do is just stop by for a few minutes and take some photos so I can get those uploaded to my investor group. Now, the reason we would do this is everybody out there has an investor group. It's 2 different companies called Open Door and OfferPad. OfferPad offers a 3% realtor referral commission, or fee. Open Door offers a 1%. So think about that. You already have a cash buyer. Every single real estate agent out there has cash buyers. You go out there, you take some photos, you upload the information into their websites, into their referral system websites, and they typically generate a cash offer within 24 hours of you submitting that. And usually they're pretty good offers. Sometimes they're full price. They're not hardly ever lowball. So you could call this person and say, would you consider a full price cash offer? Great. All I need to do is come out for a few minutes, take some photos and get some information so I can upload it into my system for my referral or for my investor group, and I can get you a cash offer in about 24 hours. Would you be okay with that? They're going to say yes. You go out there. Now, as I mentioned, OfferPad gives 3%, Open Door gives 1%. What you could also do is typically these for sale by owners are going to pay a buyer agent commission. So you can get 1, 2, 3% from the seller as well, on top of the OfferPad 3% or the Open Door 1%. You're getting 4 to 6% now in commission doing this plan. Something to think about. People are doing it. It's working. I don't know. Just kick it around. See if you like it. So OfferPad, Open Door, cash offer. Go out there. Get the seller to also pay your buyer agent fee. Well, now you're getting a commission for somebody that didn't want to list with a realtor. You're getting full commission. Different things. Hope that helps. If you have questions, email me, Michael@networkglobal.com. And we'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one.